Hello and welcome to episode 87, where today we'll do a very short and concise review of Nintendo's second offering in the DS range of handhelds, which was called the DS Lite. This gaming unit was first offered for sale March 2, 2006, and went on to sell in excess of at least 93 million consoles worldwide. But before we delve into today's star in focus, I'd like to recognize the winner from our last episode's weekly challenge, episode 86, and our viewer who correctly guessed the object in our regular photo quiz section, which we call What in the World? It was, as correctly identified here, a gray Nintendo Switch controller, so well done to all who took part in our competition. The Nintendo DS Lite was the 2-year update and makeover of the original offering. Continuing as a dual-screen handheld gaming console system, this unit had all the initial shortfalls and criticisms that were leveled at the launch version ironed out. So, it's the second iteration of the Nintendo DS range, and most of its improvements over the original style Nintendo DS, sometimes called the Nintendo DS Fat, are aesthetic as opposed to performance-based. The Nintendo DS Lite is therefore smaller, thinner, and lighter than the original DS, hence its name, and its screens are both larger and brighter. The Nintendo DS Lite has a longer battery life versus the original Nintendo DS, and it's packed with a thicker stylus that's easier to hold. A large number of colors are available, and even some custom designs. The Nintendo DS Lite's functions are identical to the original Nintendo DS. Nintendo developed the DS Lite to be lightweight, compact, and therefore attractive to gamers as well as people who previously had only a passing curiosity about the hobby. With nearly 85 million Nintendo DS Lites sold worldwide, it's safe to say Nintendo got people's attention with the system. As we've already heard, the Nintendo DS Lite hit Japanese shelves on March 2, 2006 and North America on June 11, 2006. The Nintendo DS Lite can pretty much do everything the original style Nintendo DS can do. Nintendo DS Lite games, called game cards, plug into the top of the system, which is attractive to people who don't know anything about gaming beyond plug and play. The touchscreen on the bottom of the Nintendo DS Lite allows for stylus interaction, which makes for a personal connection that's exclusive to games on every iteration of the Nintendo DS handheld. The Nintendo DS Lite is backward compatible with Game Boy Advance games, which is useful for anyone who never had a chance to play through the amazing library of games for Nintendo's previous portable system. If, like me, you've been absolutely amazed at how expensive the old clamshell Game Boy SP has become, especially the brighter screened 101 variant, then you might be a little surprised to learn that the DS Lite is effectively a GBA, SP Pro in everything but name. The cannibalization of a DS Lite is often called a Game Boy Macro within the modding world, and although is strictly not an authorized Nintendo system, it still offers excellent Game Boy Advance gameplay, in a somewhat unique style of handheld by utilizing only the lower half of the original DS Lite console. This is clearly not necessary as the DS Lite is perfect in its standard configuration. So Nintendo fans looking for a more portable version of the famous Nintendo DS will, I'm sure, enjoy the Nintendo DS Lite's sleek, lightweight nature. As previously mentioned, the benefits are huge, by offering a longer-lasting improved rechargeable battery, much brighter screens, and a handy, larger and more useful stylus than the original Nintendo DS. The standard DS Lite retains all of the impressive wireless connectivity and gameplay features you'd expect out of any DS. Despite being discontinued on April 22 way back in 2011, you can still find reasonably priced Nintendo DS Lites on various online marketplaces, if you enjoy playing Nintendo games but don't want to spring for something like the new OLED Nintendo Switch. Sure, there's a noticeable difference between the older system's battery power, its computing power, and even the available of newer games titles, for example Splatoon, but the DS Lite remains a top-tier gaming device in its own right, make no mistake about it. On the DS Lite, you can play over 1,800 games, including many loved classics such as Mario Kart DS, the super cute Nintendogs, and a slew of beautiful, well-crafted Pokémon titles. Still aching to play those classic Game Boy Advance games? Well, you can with the DS Lite. As we've mentioned, it's got a Game Boy slot on the bottom and dual screens, allowing you to enjoy visually amplified gameplay. And so we're done with both the original launch version of the DS, and now the follow-up version, the sleek DS Lite, now that leads us onto the camera-enabled eye. As in the DSi, we'll be looking at both the regular-sized system, and also next episode we'll be diving into our first foray that looks at an XL console, as we enter the world of supersizing the DS range. This episode's photo quiz question that we call What in the World is here, and we encourage everyone to have a go and guess what this item really is. As always, we'll reveal the answer in the next episode, so stay tuned. That brings us to the part where I thank you all kindly for being here. Please do me the favor of subscribing, also activate that alarm button and help us grow the channel. Feel free to drop a supportive comment in the section below, and hopefully we'll see you all again real soon.